You're listening to the Peasinner Network. For more great podcasts, go to peasinner.com.au.
Hello, and welcome to Stuff We've Forgotten, Lost and Found, a Best Left Forgotten one-shot series. My name is Miriam Feats, and I will be running our game today.
My name is Nathan Quadrio, and I will also be running the game today.
My name is Jess Wolfendale, and I will also be running the game today.
What? What's that about?
What are you doing,
Tell
Miriam?
us about it, Mim.
We are playing a GM-less system called No Boundaries.
And who's it designed by?
Mark Hobbs, and you can find the system at less than 3 games.
Fantastic. Very excited.
So what's it about?
So Boundaries is a national book retailer with hundreds of stores across the country. Ours is a medium-sized with between 20 and 30 employees in all. Boundaries sells new books and magazines as well as related items such as bookmarks, journals, and reading glasses. Each Boundaries location also has a cafe that sells coffee, pastries, and other food items. And now we come to the part where we all get to build this world together. So we have a couple of questions we need to decide as a group. First off, what's around our store? Are we isolated? Are we part of a mall? Are we somewhere else? What are we feeling?
I'm seeing us like the opening of Bob's Burgers.
Okay.
Like
Yes.
our store with other stores on the street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. So we're thinking like,
City, suburbs.
Downtown?
downtown bookstore. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. We're going to move into our employee creation phase where we all sit together and come up with our characters and their relationships with each other and with the store. The first question we're all going to ask ourselves is what is our role at the store? What's our job? What are we doing? Jess.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing someone who is just a customer service officer, sits behind the desk and helps people with incoming things, but thinks that they're assistant manager. They're not getting paid as an assistant manager, but they're definitely treating the other employees like they are.
Dress for the job you want, not the job you want.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Nathan.
I'm going full level barista.
Amazing.
Takes the work very seriously. It's not just the beans, it's a lifestyle.
It's not just the beans is a great t-shirt.
I'm going for a shelver. Just comes in, does the job every day, but is dreaming of something more, which we will get to later on. All right. Well, I guess I kind of started answering step 2 for my character. So I'll kick us off, but it's how do you feel about working at Boundaries? So yes, my character definitely feels like it's something that they're doing right now, but they definitely like to be doing something greater, doing something more with their life. Nathan.
My character is like young, so this is a stepping stone. This is not the goal. This is like barista level 1 before we move on to the other levels of barista.
My character is definitely thinks that she's the only one keeping this entire place together, the only one who cares about this bookstore, definitely thinks herself above everyone else and loves her job, but you wouldn't know it.
And building from that question a little bit, what is the job that your character would rather have? What is their dream job? Where are they hoping to be? Nathan.
So my character is currently in training at a barista school, an artisanal barista school called the Temple of Bean.
Oh my God.
You've named everything.
And
Temple of Bean.
And so his goal is there's this really little cute boutique called Beanster Boys. Is that an
my
actual
God.
Super bougie.
Beanster Boys? Everything is like raw, just the bean. This is too much.
Oh, it's amazing.
Bean still left forgotten.
Bean still left forgotten.
Bean left forgotten.
It's very, very natural, and that's what he's working towards. But obviously, he's got to pay for bean college, so he's got to work his way up the bean ranks.
Jess.
My character's dream job is to be the manager of this specific store.
Makes sense.
That is the most incredible job that could possibly happen. And pretty much, it solidifies that she does not have a life outside of this store.
Yeah. My character is dreaming himself of becoming an author, of becoming one of the famous names that he stocks on shelves every day. This is just what he does to pay his bills while he hopes his dream will come true.
What kind of book are they working on right now?
Crime novel.
Oh, true crime?
No, like
True crime podcast.
like those, dime a dozen detective novels that people churn out.
Airport fiction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Except he thinks that his is literature.
Of course.
This one's different.
All right. So the next step, and I think some of us have already started answering this question, but what is our character's flaw? What is it? What is the thing that makes them just a little bit broken, just a little bit strange? Jess, we'll start with you.
I think many, many flaws, but the one that sticks out to me is control freak and probably a little bit of a drama queen, just in terms of this is the be-all, end-all of society is what happens in these four walls.
Nathan.
Funnily enough, I think that I'm also a drama queen.
Yes.
I think we have that energy, and then like this kind of whole aura of I'm just so much better than everybody here. You don't understand. You're in this trash bookstore with trash coffee. I'm onto bigger and better things.
Yeah. I think my character is definitely a bit of a slacker. I think he spends a lot of time wishing for more and not as much time as he could putting books on shelves. And I think he's also a little bit of a blabbermouth. I think he likes to talk to anybody who'll listen about how his book's going. All right. So now we get to the naming of our characters. What do we think our characters' names are? I know Nathan already has his name tag written out and ready to go.
So my character's name is Edward Billings, but he doesn't go by Edward Billings, his barista name. And you can only get a barista name from another barista. You can't like give yourself your own barista
That's
name.
the worst.
So his barista name is Stankface.
Unacceptable.
And how did he get this name, Nathan?
From his teachers at the Temple of Bean.
It was always the Temple of Bean. I just forgot.
Artisanal barista school, the Temple of Bean.
This is the worst person that exists.
And his teacher who gave it to him, his name is Thunderdome.
All right.
Okay.
So my character's name is Bert Murphy. Not much else on that. Just plain old Bert Murphy.
Played on Bert Murphy.
My character comes from a place deep inside myself because my name was supposed to be Stephanie, but my dad wrote the wrong name on the birth certificate.
Really?
Exactly what happened.
Is that why you have so much trouble saying your name at the start of the podcast?
Steph Wolfendale
The Stephanie inside of you is just...
is trying to get out,
Yeah.
and that's what we're going to resolve in today's game with Stephanie Higgins.
And finally, let's describe our character's gender, age, and general appearance. Bert is a man in his sort of late 40s, early 50s, a little bit sort of overweight, but not too worried about it. And yeah, just probably not dressing exactly work appropriate when he comes in. Like, I think Stephanie would have a lot of trouble with how Bert dresses, and I think there would be a little bit of tension there with dress code going on.
Can you paint more of a picture for me? What is inappropriate about the dress code?
I think he's always in like slightly ill-fitting T-shirts of which the graphics are just like slightly not work appropriate. Like no explicit swearing or anything on them, but just that slightly like, oh, you're choosing that to wear to a workplace. But he's like, I'm a shelver, so it doesn't matter.
What about you, Stephanie?
For some reason, I was like, okay, great, gender. And I wrote down woman.
With a Y?
Woman. And I think Stephanie is female. I think she's 24, but it's very mature for her age. And as we said earlier, dresses for the job she wants. So comes in like blazer, knee-length skirt, and clipboard.
Beautiful. Nathan.
So Stangface,
Oh, no.
he is 19, male. There's been a conversation between Stephanie and Stangface recently. He's been wearing a leather jacket that's been opened with no shirt on underneath.
Oh, no.
Because it kind of, by wearing natural, like leather clothes, it allows him to be closer to nature and
That's
closer to the
work
beans.
health and safety.
Yeah, so Stephanie's put us up to that. He's now wearing a shirt underneath, but it's, leather jacket, white shirt, jeans.
Nude shirt.
Mesh shirt.
That's right. Well, it's almost like he's walked off of the set of Grease and into the barista.
God.
I hate him.
That's right. because his work is systematic, dramatic.
All right. Well, we've already started, I think, to define a little bit of this, but we'll go into it a little bit more deeply, have some fun with it. The next thing we need to do is establish some relationships between each other. And the way that this system has us do that is by establishing times we went over the line. When did we cross a boundary?
Classic retail.
Classic retail in the workplace, whether that is something as simple as dress code or whether that's something a little bit more serious. Where did we go over the line? And I think it says to go left around the table. So it would be Nathan to me to Jess, Jess to Nathan.
Great.
Okay, I think that there are kind of two parts to me and Bert. I think that I found some of your writing.
Yes.
Like a couple of pages you'd left around, you'd printed something out at work.
Absolutely.
And I did a live reading at the coffee shop. I stood up on the counter and did a live reading.
At first, I think because of the nature of Bert, he genuinely would have thought that this was like his moment, that this was the time that everyone realized he was a genius. Yeah.
And the second part is that I can never remember Bert's name. It's Bill, Ben, Bobby, everything else.
Absolutely.
Great.
Definitely probably the biggest tension between Stephanie and Bert is that Bert is never doing his job. I think there's like a stock take computer out the back that Bert should only be using to mark off what boxes he has unpacked and what stock has gone on the floor and what isn't. And he is just constantly on his Google Doc writing his book. And that's probably even how you got a hold of the pages.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think besides our natural tensions between each other, I think I blamed you for a mistake I made at work. I think it's something you've been written up for, and maybe you're even now on your sort of last strike.
Oh, wow.
Because of this mistake that I've made. I think it was something like I maybe made myself a coffee when I was staying late one night after you'd already left, hours after the other people in the bookstore have already left. I'm doing unpaid overtime. And I turned the coffee machine on myself to make myself a cup of coffee and broke the machine, but blamed it on you, said that you didn't report it. And yes, there's some tension.
I love it.
It's January 1st. The store opens in an hour. All of us have just arrived and are waiting around for a manager to show up and unlock the door. There have been ups and downs for Boundaries in the last few months, sure, but it seems like the ship is sailing in the right direction now. All we need is patience and elbow grease and we'll get this company back on track. Or at least that's what management tells us. Last night, the $1,000 suits at corporate went to a fancy gala to watch the ball drop. On the company's shrinking dime, no doubt. And what about you? Where were you on New Year's Eve? I imagine Stephanie was there when we both arrived.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Clipboard in hand, ticking you off as arrived. And writing down the time at which you have arrived.
I give Stephanie a nod and just kind of lean back, keep cup in hand.
I think Bert is probably the last one to get there. Definitely sort of like slouching, has a breakfast stain on his graphic tee from the sort of burrito that you see he's like scruffing up the mess for and is sort of tossing towards the bin, and it definitely misses.
I just shake my head and write so many notes.
Burrito Benny, big night last night?
It's Bert. We've had this discussion multiple times.
Sorry, Bob, sorry.
How was your New Year's?
Oh, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. Thunderdome invited me over last night. Just me and him and the beans.
Is that a euphemism for something?
Bill. So, like, Thunderdome is my trainer at the Temple of Bean, you see. And so, like, what we did is he'd gotten some new roasts through, and we spent all night just brewing and brewing and brewing. So I'm in a world of flavor right now. I'm so ready to get in and give those customers the best damn coffee they've ever had.
You know, one of the characters in the book that I'm writing at the moment.
So, Stephanie, what about you?
So good. Well, if you must know, I had a very successful evening transferring my diary to the new year, as is my tradition. And I went to bed at 10 p.m.
You didn't stay up for the...
No, I know it's the new year today. Didn't need to watch the clock tick.
All right.
Well, you know what? Me and the wife, we went round to my brother's house. I was on the barbecue. My brother's just terrible at it. Burns everything. The kids were running around. It was a madhouse. They had to go to bed by 10 p.m, but we stayed up. We put it on the telly. We didn't go outside or watch the fireworks. A little too many, bugs and mozzies for me. But, we had a nice night. Tucked in at 12:30.
Not going to be too tired for a day of work, I hope.
Oh, no, we'll be right.
Benji, if you are feeling flat at all, man, you just head up to the bar. I'll grab your coffee. My shout.
Appreciate it. Hopefully you'll get my name right when you write it on the cup, eh?
No problem, Benny.
And I slap you on the shoulder.
And I trust that it will indeed be your shout and not the company's shout. Edward?
I'm sorry. When I'm at work, it's stank face. Okay?
Well, we're
not that
outside the
close.
doors, so...
No, I'm actually in the zone. I'm in barista right now, so...
Right.
Thanks, Stephanie.
I think that's good.
Yeah, I think that's fabulous. All right, so this is the part of the system where we get into our role play. We've already done a bit of it, but this is a
Role play.
Role play.
Scandalous.
This is a little bit more structured. There's going to be 4 rounds, one for each quarter. And each time we start a round, a different player is going to pick what quarterly event is occurring. And then there'll be a scene that each player sort of chooses. There's also a list of scenes that we'll be choosing from. And then in each scene, we'll play out what's occurring. We can play ourselves. We can also play any sort of NPCs that we think would heighten the scene. So there's sort of like 20 to 30 other employees that work here. There's any customers that are coming through, things that we think make the scene pop.
Yeah.
Once every player has chosen a scene for that quarter, we move to the next quarter, we run again.
Oh, okay. Sorry, did you say that, so like if Stephanie wanted to do a particular scene, we could be other NPCs
We
in
can
that
be
scene
other
with
NPCs
Stephanie?
in that scene with Stephanie.
Okay.
So Stephanie needs to be in that scene because
Yeah,
it's Stephanie's
obviously.
scene.
Yep.
But we could be in there as ourselves. We could be in there as any NPC that we wanted.
Cool.
Great.
Yeah? All right. So, Jess.
Help me out here. So corporate's going to implement some new rules.
Yep.
And Stephanie's going to sort of let everyone know about this.
Yeah.
I feel like corporate wants there to be a new greeting that you have to start every customer interaction with.
Yep.
And it has something to do with the fact that it's called boundaries. But I can't think of what that is.
Is it that we have to give a hug to each?
No.
Could we have it be like,
Even I can't stand
could it be like,
that.
because the store's called Boundaries, could we say, welcome to Boundaries, where the only boundary is your imagination?
Yes. Excellent. And you have to start every customer
Every
interaction.
customer interaction.
Okay.
with that.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
So I think
amazing.
it's maybe a week later, and Stephanie, when everyone arrives outside and we're all waiting for the manager, has found this note from corporate and has gathered everyone around. It's like, excuse me, everyone, please listen up. We have a new directive from corporate. Very important. Pay attention, please. Thank you. So we have a new rule that corporate, in all their wisdom, has decided to implement. We have a new greeting, and it has to be done every time you interact with a customer. That is not just on entering the store. That is every time they ask for help or you read out their coffee order. And the phrase is, I will be handing out cue cards to everybody for the next week, but I expect you to be off book after that. Stephanie also did amateur theatre in her youth. All right. The phrase is, welcome to Boundaries, where the only boundary is your imagination. Got it?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Great. All right. Take this.
Thumbs up. Thank you.
Take this.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I will be monitoring this. So be on it. Thank you.
As Stankface walks away, he throws it in the bin.
Yeah. Do I see this? Does he?
Oh, there's an absolutely, it's very open.
I think when you appear at your coffee station, there is just a full stack of cue cards, some of which are like taped and would be difficult to remove.
Okay.
I think that's the passive-aggressive solution to that one.
Absolutely.
Are there customers in the store at this time, or is this before we open?
I don't know. Do you make it to your barista stand before customers get there?
Absolutely. I take my barista work very seriously.
Then I think it's maybe, you go out the back to grab
something.
Grab your beans. And when you come back, it's there.
Okay.
I think this is even a nice opportunity to sort of merge into a scene. So one of our scene types is help a coworker with a customer or task. So I think it might even be fun to have this play out.
What's Stephanie coming and standing at the barista?
Yes, between Stephanie and Stankface, where Stephanie sort of oversees Stankface's first customer interactions using this new system.
Would you like to be the first customer, Maria?
Absolutely. I would love to be the first customer.
You maybe don't know I'm there for a start. I sort of just fade in.
Hello, welcome to No Boundaries. We are bound to buy a book.
Sorry, excuse me. I pull you aside away from the customer and I'm like, sorry. And I just hand you another cue card. I'm like, do you want to take that one again?
Stephanie, Matt, I've just got this, sorry, this customer's right here.
I know.
Look at them. They really need a coffee.
Customer service is very important to me. Okay. And that's why we should be doing exactly what corporate tells us to do because they know the most about customer service.
Okay, yeah, but, I've been a barista. I am training at one of the top barista schools.
Oh, and don't we all know it? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, because you should know it because I'm better than this, right? This is just, I'll be out soon. Sorry. Okay.
Can't even keep the coffee machine from breaking, but...
I'm sorry about that, ma'am.
It's no worries.
The most Australian.
Welcome to No Boundaries, where the only boundary is your love of books. So... what are we looking for today?
Just a flat white.
Flat white, not regular. A problem. Absolutely fantastic. Had a good day so far. As he starts to work on the machine.
Yeah,
furious scribbling in the background.
It's been lovely. Book shopping for the hubby at the moment.
Oh, fantastic.
It's our anniversary in a few weeks.
Oh, very exciting.
He's a big fan of what's his name? There's some politician put out a new new autobiography. I think you've got it in. But I thought I'd treat myself to a coffee while I'm here.
Absolutely. That's what we're all about. Well, I believe politics is somewhere around the back, near the books. That's a flat white.
I step in front of you, handing the coffee over, physically block you from doing it. I'm like, hi, welcome to Boundaries, where the only boundary is your imagination. You said you were looking for a politics book, and I take the coffee from you and hand it over.
Yeah, sorry, how much is this?
I'm pretty sure it's her shout. Have a lovely time. You're actually very lucky. You're the 10,000th customer to come through the store since we've opened. Politics is just around there.
Oh, thank you very much.
Not a problem.
This has been such a delightful...
Absolutely. Have a great time.
And she nods and leaves.
I'd like to walk over to the next customer. Hello, welcome to No Boundaries, where the only boundary is the fact that the staff have no boundaries. How can I help you?
And I think we'll cut that scene off there.
Stephanie storms away. That's great.
I think maybe a fun next scene could be Bert and Stephanie in the employee lounge.
Oh, I get a lot of scenes, yep.
Well, just because while in the employee lounge, characters may gossip or complain about what is going on at the store. I think Bert is already in the employee lounge. I don't think he's left yet. I think he walked in to put some stuff down and sat down and has not got back up. And is just having like one of the little employee coffees from the urn that's at the back. Very much not doing any work.
Yeah, I think Stephanie walks in like red-faced, storms straight to the fridge, unpacks her little snack for the day, which is, like carrot sticks and dip or something. I feel like I'm insulting people who eat carrot sticks and dip now. I'm sorry.
It's a very white girl.
Don't at us.
And sort of just sits down across from you and starts madly crunching on them and is like,
"You right there, Steph?
Aren't you supposed to be working right now?"
Well, I mean, we all get half-hour break each day. I thought I'd take mine early.
Fine.
Late one last night, watching the game. Thought I'd get a coffee in before I started trying to get this new customer interaction down pat.
I'm glad someone is. I'm so sick of Edward constantly undermining me in front of customers and not taking this job seriously.
Oh, is he causing trouble again already?
Constantly. I mean, it's... I just can't stand people who think they're better than everybody else and that they are above the rules. And I'm sorry, I don't usually talk like this.
Oh, look, that's all right. You know, in the latest draft of the novel that I'm working on, I'm looking at one of the early characters who gets killed off. It's pretty brutal. I was thinking maybe we call him Edward.
Well, as long as you don't type it up on company infrastructure.
Oh, come on, that reading that Stankface did was pretty bloody good.
The what?
We got into character, up on the counter, got into character.
Excuse
he
me?
really did them justice, especially the killer. I didn't, it's a whole dimension that I hadn't really taken into account before. It was just before we all broke for Christmas.
Right. Well,
I figured it was like a little, hey, go have a good holidays, here's a bit of company fun.
yes. I'm going to go call the manager and just once again leaves the room, carrot sticks in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Bert takes one more sip of his coffee, walks over to the bin and like throws the little styrofoam cup with coffee still in it in the trash.
Yep.
And saunters towards the stock take room.
Incredible.
I think that I would like a scene after work,
Yeah?
just between Bert and I.
Yeah.
I imagine like I'm cleaning down and you're packing away some books.
Yeah. Or Stankface. I'll get used to calling you that, I promise.
No problem, Benny boy.
You're funny. I was working on the stock shake in the back, and I've written some new pages. If you were interested, you seem so passionate about them when you did that reading. I thought you'd like to see what I've come up with.
Absolutely. Look, can I see him, Bill?
Absolutely. It's a great little scene where the murderer gets confronted by the plucky young detective, but she realizes that he's much more handsome than she originally thought. And there's definitely some romantic tension going on there. A little bit of a twist we got happening. Don't quite know how to finish the scene yet, but I'm thinking either saucy or bloody. What are you?
I see the murderer here. It's named Bert. Is there something?
Not the plucky young protagonist, the murderer.
It's actually, you got to draw from life, and me and my wife.
But where are you going here?
Me and my wife, we get along great. Amanda's a lovely woman, but we have our fights, we have our ups and downs, and I thought, what better to base the central relationship of the text than on such a strong marriage that goes through the hard times and comes out even better. And they're the main romantic tension of the book, so you gotta.
The murderer and his wife?
So I'm the murderer, and then the plucky young detective, that's Amanda. But I've called her Mindy.
You've called him. Oh,
see?
Clever.
And Bert,
Clever.
in there, it's Bert with an E, and I'm Bert with a U.
Oh, that's right. Right. Okay. Yeah, I see that. I think that you would have to go, I'm looking at you, I'm making some assumptions, Bill, and I'm going, we're probably not going down the saucy route. We're probably going down,
Bloody violence.
Bloody, yeah.
Absolutely.
Pretty much bloody violence. I think Mindy, she's ripe for it. I think that, is that not correct nomenclature?
No, that's good. It's just going by surprise.
I think that, maybe Mindy gets murdered. Maybe a new title for you.
Mindy gets murdered. That is bloody. You know what? I reckon we're looking at the thank you at the start of the book.
Oh, look.
Edward Stankface Billings.
Look, Banjo, we don't. That's really not necessary. You know what? You know what?
It's locked in. It's loaded. I'm already drafting it in my brain. I've got to go write it down now before I forget. You have a great night, champ. And I clap you on the shoulder and walk off.
Okay. And as you walk away, I start to take photos individually of each page.
Incredible.
Should we move into our second quarter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nathan, do you want to come up with the quarterly event?
Yes. I'd like to do, I believe it's the first or the second one, where a new product.
Yes, the first one.
A new product is being introduced, and we are now starting to sell frozen meals, which is one of the options
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
So I imagine that, I'm selling them at the barista, but also there's been some freezers installed somewhere else which might be causing some confusion on both the stock take and the management side.
Oh,
Yes.
that's great. That's good.
Do I choose the first scene, or do we want? Or I don't.
This is maybe a bit wild.
Yeah.
We're going into best left forgotten territory. That's
Fine,
a
let's
wild
go.
scene. Okay, so Stephanie was helping a customer find a book that they needed,
Yes.
and they went into the stock take rooms in the back, but hasn't come back for a while. And it's not until Bert goes, however long you'd like later, to start restocking some more shelves, that he hears knocking from inside one of the deep freezer walk-ins that has recently been installed.
Yeah.
Just heavy bangs.
Yeah. Hello? Is anyone in here? What's oh no. I think Bert walks over to the freezer and it's quite a sticky latch and sort of struggles. I'll get you out of there. Don't you worry about a thing. If it gets really bad, we'll call the SES, but I doubt we'll have to and I think he gets his elbow on it and really slams it down and opens the freezer door.
I think a very cold-looking Stephanie rushes out into your arms and is just like,
It's all right, Steph. Everything's going to be fine. Awkward pats on the back.
I thought it was the stock take cupboard.
It's a big metal door, love.
It was dark and I was in a rush.
All right. I see that you've got a little bit of mess on your shirt. Did you run into...
I didn't know how long I was going to be in there. I started eating some of the frozen meals.
Still frozen?
I think there's something there with a butter chicken popsicle maybe that we could pitch.
That's all right, love. We all do strange things when we think we're in trouble. Why don't we take you to Lost and Found and find you a shirt that you can wear instead? And I think Bert traipses you over to the Lost and Found, and I think it's just all of the shirts that Stankface was told he couldn't wear.
Yep.
And so I think there's like a mesh shirt there, and I think there's...
Chainmail.
Yeah.
I think this is a good point to ask Nathan, which shirt do I pick out and wear? What's a previous stank face creation that I find myself forced to wear?
There is a tank top that has a woman's face on it. You're not sure who it is. It could be some kind of pop star, but it's been ripped strategically to the point that it's just almost like rags.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I go,
I think you look mighty fine, love. It's you're pulling it off well.
I'm going to go get my spare blazer from my locker and maybe wear it backwards. And
Can I add another character to the scene?
Yeah.
And entering the stock take room,
the Lost and Found.
Yeah,
is
the
where we
Lost
are.
and Found,
Yeah.
is Barb, the manager. Stephanie, where have you been? It's been half an hour. We've got customers on the floor.
I am so sorry. I got waylaid in the back room.
She got herself locked in one of those newfangled freezers we've got back there. Ate some of the butter chicken. We're going to need to replace that, but it's all right.
I will happily pay for any products consumed while under duress. I am so sorry. I will get back out on the floor as soon as possible. I just need to go get my blazer to cover this.
Barbara, the manager, will remember this.
Excellent.
Can I do a scene in the employee lounge?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Can I be showing an NPC something?
An
Absolutely.
NPC,
What
yes.
NPC would you like?
It doesn't matter. A friend of Stankface.
Oh, God.
A friend of Stankface.
So there's only one guy.
I think he's working here to just, again, sort of pay the bills to fund his NFTs.
Amazing.
Really into
choice.
crypto.
Yes.
Like he's already spent the last 3 paychecks on new NFTs and
Yeah.
he's really proud of them. And I think even before you're showing him something, he's got his phone out and he's like, yeah, man, this is the latest one I bought.
Wow.
It's, you
Nice.
know, it cost a bit of money, but I mean, look at that monkey.
Oh, wow. You know, let me tell you. Know, I would say when I look at that, I go, that's a $1,500 monkey.
I mean, backwards cap, cigarette. I mean, it's me, man.
So do you sell these on? Like what's the process here, man?
So it's
Maybe we skip the NFT
Skip the
discussion and go into the characters may
Don't buy
only gossip
NFTs.
or complain.
I know. Okay.
So what's up?
Look, I've just been doing this thing for a few months now, and I thought that you would be really into it.
Yeah.
So what was your name?
Kevin.
Kevin, right? Kevin. NFT Kevin.
NFT Kevin.
Yeah, that's that handle on the NFT gram.
I mean, I'm just on Twitter, but yeah.
Right. At NFT gram.
At NFT Gram. Yeah.
No,
No.
At NFT Kevin.
at NFT Kevin. Cool. I thought you'd be totally into it. Maybe you could spread it through your own circles.
Yeah.
I've been slowly collecting samples of some writing.
What kind of writing?
Well, I don't know if you know, but he's writing like this crime novel.
Oh, Ben.
Yes. And so I've just been, he's been giving me things, just little snippets, and some of the stuff that's a little bit funny. I've been posting up on my Instagram.
Oh, I can get you views.
Absolutely,
I can get you.
See, let's look at this one. See, and he scrolls onto
Yeah.
his phone and he's like, "Look, this character, right? Heffany Stiggins." Is that not a dead ringer for the assistant manager?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Sophie to a T.
Right. Look at what he said. Right. He's like, Officer Heffany Stiggins walks in to the station. She glares at everybody angrily. She slaps the file down. She was the kind of woman that no man could ever love.
I mean, that's Sophie.
Absolutely. And look, when I see Sophie later, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to see a woman who no man could ever love.
And I think at this point, Bert walks in and goes, "Oh, what you got there, fellas? What's that? Are you showing my work around?"
Absolutely.
And he's going to slap Kevin on the back and be like, "You give those a good read. They're bloody good."
Absolutely. You got to get those early readers in.
And he's going to walk over to the fridge, grab a bottle of Coke and walk back out again.
And we fade away.
I think so.
I think it might be fun to have like a version of smoke break. We're not necessarily smoking, but with those rules of like you do have to be genuine. I think at the end of that very bad day for Stephanie, I think it's maybe after everyone else has left, Stephanie's in the employee lounge feeling a bit down in the dumps. And I think Bert brings in a now properly heated frozen butter chicken ready to go and sort of plops it down in front of you and goes, "Had a bad day, have you, love?"
You could say that. Yeah. Thanks.
Look, I don't want to stick my nose in business that isn't mine, but as a writer, we people watch a lot. We get very good at looking and seeing into the core of the person in front of us. And look, you may rub people up the wrong way a bit, and you have a lot of opinions, which a lot of people might not be used to from a Sheila such as yourself, but you know what you want and you go after it. And, when you're writing a novel, characters that have clear motivation, they're always the ones that make it the easiest. They're always the ones that everybody comes to love by the end of the book. And I think that, maybe we're just at the start of your novel, love, and, in a few years' time, you've worked yourself up the ranks, you've got what you wanted. We're all going to be cheering for the end of your book.
It was really beautiful, but you should write a book.
I think that's the scene.
Oh my God.
So now it's your quarterly event?
Your quarterly event, Miriam. What would you like?
Oh, gosh.
It's the third
Jess,
quarter.
Jess, you're gonna hate me. I want to do corporate promotes from within.
Yes.
In a move that many consider reckless, corporate decides to promote randomly selected employees within each store. Nathan, add assistant manager to your name tag.
Yes. I was hoping this would happen. This is perfect. I saw that one. I'm like, I can't touch that.
Yeah.
Someone else.
And you are now the supervisor of the character to your right, which is Jess. And I think I'd love a repeat of that scene we did in the first one where one character helps another character with a customer interaction. And I think this time it's Nathan supervising Jess.
Miriam.
Yes.
Genius. Yeah, I think maybe we're at the customer service
Yeah.
desk.
I ordered this book 3 months ago and it is still not here. And I would like an answer as to why that is the case, please.
All right. I'm very sorry about the issues, ma'am. But if you could just please tell me your name. I should
I've
be able
said
to
it 5 times already. Arabella Smith.
Right.
2 R's, 2 L's.
In Smith?
In
Sorry.
Arabella.
Yeah, I just, sorry.
I'm sorry, how long have you been working here? Is there a supervisor that I can talk to? Because it just seems like you're not getting the job done for me.
Sorry, let me just step in here. Hello, my name's Stankface. I'm the
Assistant manager Stankface! Oh, I didn't expect
I didn't think
that.
this through.
Hello, my name's Stankface, and I'm assistant manager here, as well as barista extraordinaire. Can you explain to me, Arabella, what's the problem here?
Well, Stankface, I ordered the latest Nancy Myers novel and it was meant to be here 3 months ago. I've received no notification. I have not been able to access or take home the book and I'd like to have that sorted out as quickly as possible.
Well, thank you. I apologise for Sophie here. She's still on probation, so that's all right. Maybe we'll judge her performance after this incident. Look, in order to kind of hopefully smooth things over here, and he writes out a $50 gift card and hands it over. Hopefully that will assist you in moving through this problem. Sophie, what's going on here?
I have been unable to find the name in the system.
I'm sorry, I'll just look. Here, and he opens the till and he grabs $10 and hands $10 over to you.
Oh my gosh!
Can you head over to the just the barista over there, and he'll make you a coffee. Use that $10 to pay for it, and so just so I can have a help sort this situation out. Maybe we can go and have a look in the stock room and see if we can find it for you.
This is greatly appreciated. The customer service that you have shown me, Stankface, is fantastic. I will be writing a raving review of the dedication that you have shown me as a customer. And she pulls the $50 gift card. I'm just going to leave this here with you and you can put the book on that when it's ready, and walks over to the barista.
Sophie, what's going on here, hey?
You are well aware that we do not accept gift cards over $40 in value.
Sophie, when we came up together, you were a go-getter, you worked hard. I really see things are starting to slip.
I know that this situation we find ourselves in is not ideal from my perspective, but I respect management. And I know that corporate did not make this decision randomly or lightly, so there must be something I could learn from you, Stankface. Can you please show me how to fix the lookup system?
Not a problem, all right? So when I'm having problems with the lookup system, right, super easy, just give the customer what they want. Right.
And scene.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, that's so good. Are there any other scenes that people would like to see from this particular outcome?
I would love for the beautiful, for Stankface to get his comeuppance.
Yeah.
For this beautiful.
Absolutely.
I have a potential.
Yeah.
Or something. Okay.
Yeah. What have you got?
Somewhere towards the end of the quarter, Stankface comes in, slacks, blazer, white button-up shirt. He walks straight past the barista station and moves into kind of the employee lounge at the back. Takes a seat.
I think Bert's in there drinking his very bad employee coffee. Stankface, new look for you, mate. Looks good. Looks good. Very sharp.
It's just Edward, thanks. But and he pours himself an employee coffee.
No.
Well, good on you for the we love a rebrand. And he's going to pat you on the back and immediately walk straight to Stephanie, who I think is probably out on the floor. Stephanie, we've got a problem.
Yeah, I think the next thing you see is the two of us poke our heads into the employee lounge.
Like that one on top of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then poke back out. I'm like, How long has he been like this?
He walked in, he asked me to call him Edward. He's drinking an employee coffee. It's instant.
It's worse than I thought.
There's no froth in that milk whatsoever.
I think we can get him out of this. He is no good to us like this. I walk back in. I'm like, hi,
Stephanie?
Edward.
Stephanie, Bert?
What's going on, buddy?
Have either of you heard of a multi-level marketing scheme?
Why do you ask?
Well, it turns out that the Temple of Bean is one.
Right.
And Thunderdome, or Leon Hagues, as I've now discovered, he said, I hire you as baristas, you go out and get more baristas, and we can all make a lot of barista cash together. Turns out it was all a bit of a scheme for somebody above Leon to make some money.
That's a rough break, kid.
Sorry to hear.
So I guess boundaries is all I've got.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
He drops the cup into the bin. Look, I think we're wasting company time here, guys. I'm pretty sure management wouldn't be happy with this. Let's wrap it up. And he walks out.
as you start to walk out, I call after you. I broke the coffee machine. That time last year when I told you that you broke the coffee machine and I wrote you up and you were on probation for a while. That was me. I did it. I broke the coffee machine.
well.
You have incredible barista skills, and it wasn't just because of Bean Palace or whatever you were doing. You have real talent, and you shouldn't throw it away just because one thing didn't work out, all right?
He's going to walk up to you, place his hand on your shoulder. Look, Stephanie, you're a good kid. I reckon that we're not going to pass this up to management because I think that you've got management potential. But when that next round comes by, I'll definitely put your name in. Bert, I reckon you better get back into the stockroom. Thanks. And he walks out.
Oh,
The character development.
I think that might be a good place to move into our last quarter.
It's Halloween.
Especially because there's something that I need to read before we start our last quarter.
Okay.
What is it, Miriam?
Corporate swore up and down that they'd get the money to revive the business. But as September opens, bankruptcy is certain. The suits plan to try one last desperate gamble before the rising tide of red ink swallows us all. I believe we're back to Jess, although we could choose this as a group. What is the desperate gamble that corporate tries to get us back on track?
I really want to see a team building retreat with this energy.
Just all the money into a team building retreat. That's the answer.
If our team works as one, I think that we could do some scenes within the team building retreat as well,
Yeah.
and that could be super fun.
Yeah. So where is our retreat going to be? What are we doing?
Oh yeah, these scenes replace normal play
Yeah,
for
yeah,
this
yeah.
round. Nice.
What has corporate spent its last money on?
Yep.
Definitely outdoor.
Yes.
Something outdoor.
Yeah.
I'm feeling there's high ropes courses,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
kayaking,
Yeah.
definitely like the treasure
Scavenger
a
hunt.
scavenger
Yeah.
hunt where you get paired up. Definitely outdoor woody retreat.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Has anyone got an idea for the first scene of our corporate retreat?
I do.
Yes, Nathan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Can we bring ourselves in? Bring ourselves in. Yep, thanks. I'd like to welcome you to the No Boundaries, Boundary Breaking Boundaries course that
Well, that's a little tongue twister right there.
that corporate has organised. Barb is unfortunately indisposed. She's currently up with corporate in the capital. The Capitol building.
We're in Hunger Games.
There's a separate corporate
District
retreat, and they're just like eating sushi on the beach.
right.
Yeah.
She's up with corporate at the moment, so I will be organising this retreat. Due to dwindling numbers, I'm sure you'll notice that there's quite a few people missing. I will also be participating in the events today.
Right on.
Thank you, Bert.
I think also everyone would notice, like, Bert's gone full, like, dad on vacation mode. It's flip-flops.
Excellent.
It's cargo shorts. It's, like, tank top and open Hawaiian shirt. He's living it up.
Stephanie has kindly organised our groups for us. So if you could please head over there and she will sort you into groups for each of your activities.
Stephanie, not in a blazer, in cargo pants and an oversized T-shirt.
I think when Bert walks up, he gives you a high five.
Thank you, Bert. All right, everybody. The first activity for today will be the kayaking course.
Right on.
Our hearts are just breaking and Bert's like, oh, yeah.
Bert's like, I haven't had a vacation in years.
Oh, man. We will be in teams of 3 today. Mitch, you're with...
And Jess says a lot of names.
Mitch, you're with Kevin and Eliza.
Excuse me, Kevin. Can we put the NFTs away for today? Thank you.
Oh, but I just got this new one. Do you want to see it?
Kevin, the corporate has requested there are no phones on this retreat. Getting back to nature. Breaking the boundaries of nature was the subtitle.
But if I don't have my phone, I can't check my... whatever.
Breaking the boundaries of nature. Yeah, and I go through... Actually, I think there's probably only one more group, if I'm being honest. There's only 9 people on this retreat. Yeah. So the other group and Edward, Bert, and myself.
Fabulous.
Quality team. Look at this. It's a quality group. We got to smash this challenge. I can already tell.
I think on the way... as we head off to that section, I'm pulling Bert aside and I'm whispering a plan in his ear. And we'll get to that in the scene, I think.
All right.
I think it's a kayaking scene, guys.
Yep.
So much fun. And I think it's a race.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's a kayak race between ourselves and the other members. And we have a little bit of time to plan. And then we will head off down the river.
Okay.
Great.
As we arrive, Edward will hang his coat on a branch.
Wearing a coat to a retreat.
Oh, yeah. He's wearing what he was wearing before.
Now,
full business wear.
Now, Ed, I can't help but notice you're still in your business slacks. This is a kayaking activity. I've got some spare boardies.
That's okay. Thank you, Bert. I'm here to oversee a corporate event. So I'm just... my understanding is that any moment I could get called through and I want to make sure that I'm ready for any kind of business meetings. So obviously it's very important that we're part of the team. But, let's keep the splashing to a minimum. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, if you want to head in the back, Edward, and be our caller.
Not a problem.
And we'll head up
I think
front.
I'll go in the middle just to stabilise. This gut might tip us over if I'm in the wrong spot.
And I think we head off on this race.
Yeah.
And partway through...
Stroke.
Nice and steady there, Ed. You're doing well. Doing well. We're gaining on them.
And I think at some point, Edward perhaps realizes that I'm steering us towards a side path in the river.
Oh.
A little side creek, perhaps.
Yeah.
And we're heading away from the rest of the group.
Well, current's a bit tricky here. We're doing our best to get back on track, but it's not looking good.
Stephanie, Bert, it's just over there. Thanks.
I'm doing my best, but
if you want to grab a paddle, but this
and I start rocking the boat from side to side, and then I think I'm like now, and we tip the kayak.
Yeah.
Stephanie, what?
I come up and I'm like, woo! A high five, Bert. I'm like, you got dunked.
Stephanie, what do you think is going on? Stephanie, Bert, what's going on?
I think you need to let go a bit, mate.
Steph and I had a conversation. We thought, what does Ed need on this retreat? Some fun.
We know that this company's going under. It's time to unionize and have a bit of fun.
I'm glad that you think that it's time to have fun.
I splash him.
I swim to the edge and climb out.
Oh, come on, Edward.
Stank face.
Stank face.
Stank face.
The company's going under, and without the Temple of Bean, I'm just a barista.
Oh.
I have no prospects. I'm just an assistant manager of a small bookstore, soon to be non-existent.
Cool.
Not the approach I would have taken, but I trust you, Steph. Let's see where this is going.
like a commentator. An interesting play by Steph. Let's see if it pays off. Cool. There's a life outside of work, right?
I've got me books and me wife and, the Rugrats back at home. They're causing trouble for her at the moment, but, I miss them already.
I have discovered LARPing.
Yes. 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 Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so perfect.
Lock it in.
Locked and booted.
Lock it in. We don't have to live our whole lives at work. Sometimes getting away for a little bit can show us how much we can have fun.
But I'm not like you, Stephanie.
Aren't you?
You have the organizational skills, you have the drive, the passion, the focus. I'm just a failed barista who was randomly chosen to be assistant manager. I don't think LARPing is going to fix I don't think LARPing is going to fix that.
Maybe not laughing, but you know, that Christmas where you stood and you read my pages, it transformed me, Edward. It brought things to life in a way that I'd never seen before, and it brought a passion out in you that I don't think I'd seen behind the coffee machine or in your fancy suits. I think you like people's attention. You like to make people stop and look and take notice, to tell massive tales and stories, and to entertain in a way that my words on their own could never do.
And despite my reservations, you have been a genuinely helpful assistant manager to the store. I think you've really come into your own, and, you know, whatever you choose to do, barista, manager, motivational speaker, you got your whole life ahead of you.
You can do whatever you put your mind to, kid. You're a smart tack.
Well, I think we've got a race to win.
Get in here. And I think we pull him in and lose the race horribly.
So bad.
So badly.
So badly.
Just like 10-minute conversation. We've got a race to win. Doesn't happen.
I think at the end, though, when we've lost the race and we're in the kayak, I think Bert looks over at Ed and just holds the edge of the kayak ready to wobble. We doing this?
Let's do it.
And we tip.
And we tip.
Did we want anything more from that? Or do
I
we
think
that's
straight
it.
to the
perfect.
epilogue?
Epilogue.
All right. By Thanksgiving, everyone knows the score. Boundaries is closing permanently. There's a rush on the stock, and the company's market share plummets in a freefall. They're shuttering branches left and right, and 2 days before Christmas, our bonus arrives. We'll all be out of a job starting January 1st. So, what are you doing for New Year's Eve?
I think Stephanie is spending New Year's Eve in a gorgeous ball gown with elven ears
Yes.
Oh my God.
at a masquerade ball as her character. No, I really thought I was going to have something to say.
Flick
gold kind.
It's like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Everything's connected.
As her character, Lady Heffany Stiggins, dancing the night away until the ball drops and stays up until many hours of the morning, knowing she doesn't have to be at work the next day.
I think around sort of 7 o'clock on New Year's Eve, Edward gets a knock on his door.
I open the door. What's up?
Ed, look, I know you're still a bit directionless, and I know we got the bonus, and it's a good one. And you know, I got a call the other day from a publisher. They'd been reading some very popular social media posts. It turns out the posts you made, they've been getting some attention, and they wanna fund my book. And look, I got quite a substantial first check, and well, I thought seeing as you were the one that made it happen, it should go to you. Whatever you want to do, whatever you're going next, I want to help you start that off. Like, you made my dream come true. And he just hands you the check.
Bert, do you want to come in?
You know, I'd love to.
So I invite Bert in, hand Bert a beer.
Yep,
Can I show you something?
of course.
And I open something up on my computer, and it's plans for a little boutique bookstore with a stage for live readings and a little coffee shop. Bert, I'd love if, one of the first places that you showed off your book would be at my new bookstore, and maybe this cash will go a long way to making that dream a reality.
Just one condition.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to do the reading.
And look, I was assistant manager, but I didn't really have, didn't have that know-how. Do you have Stephanie's number?
Of course I do.
Well, I'll be in touch, Bert.
Takes a sip of his beer.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Wow. I was genuinely invested in that. That was a genuinely emotional ending.
I'd been sitting on that book ending for like half the
That's
session.
great.
I was like, yes, this is how Bert ends. You've been listening to Stuff We've Forgotten, Lost and Found, a Best Left Forgotten one-shot podcast. My name is Miriam Feats.
My name's Jess Wolfendale.
And my name is Nathan Quadrio.
Thanks for listening.